This year for 2026, I've made it my goal to talk to at least one stranger a day. And I don't mean it in a sort of like I'm going up to any rando and going, hey, how you doing? These conversations hopefully tend to occur naturally. But I'm kind of doing it because I think we are at a state of isolation in this world and society. Um, and this isolation causes alienation, and this causes extreme things happening. It causes people to be radicalized. Not that I was that, but TLDR. My point is, we need more connection. So hopefully, people can see the humanity in each other. So circle back to why I'm doing this. So I started talking to strangers. Well, I've always talked to strangers. I've always been friendly, but I kind of consciously started doing it at the end of 2025 and thought it'd be actually really nice to put this as like a goal, as something that I could maybe strive towards, because I started gaining really like meaningful conversations with people, or not all of them had to be deep or meaningful, but this point of connection almost brought me teary-eyed. I think because we live in a world that is so disconnected, and we are more online now. A lot of us work from home or base a lot of our social interactions online. To actually talk to people in real life is a bit of a cultural shift. I'd like to note that I've been living in London for the past year and a half. I lived in London before as well, and the culture in London is very different. I say very different. It's different to where I'm from. Where I'm from, it's more socially acceptable to talk to others, and it is more common for people to say hi to each other. Even if you don't know each other, it's quite a common thing. And it's quite a common thing to make conversation with people you don't know, people you queue with, people you're near, to have banter. And I was kind of experiencing this when I sort of visit my sort of hometown, and I wanted to like take this back with me into London. And to some Londoners, this is probably shocking. Not all, or say Londoners, I'll say Southerners as well. I think maybe Southerners might be more the culprit. Anyway, my phone died as I was recording that. Where I was saying, not all Southerners. But I think there's a culture in London that is fast paced and is moving, and you've got to keep your head down and just be concerned with what you're doing. And I think a lot of society is slowly turning into that, but I think it's important to actually challenge this and challenge this disconnection. We don't actually have to be like this as people. We don't have to be strangers. So yeah, I made it my goal to talk to at least one stranger once a day. And these don't have to be like full-on conversations. It could be literally just talking to a shopkeeper and asking how their day was, or letting someone on the bus before me like, oh no, you go first, you know. But also I do see great value in having more like in-depth conversations, and sometimes you get that. My point is, you also just don't know what's going on in people's lives, and how not this would be, I like doing this out of selflessness, but it does help you as well. But also this can help others feel less lonely and feel more connected. I just think this is an active protest to the modern world that we live in, into a world that constantly wants to isolate us and separate us, to buy more things, to fill that void of loneliness, to keep us addicted to devices. I think connection is often the solution, and is often the solution to things like depression. And I think we need more of it. So maybe if I can do this, maybe if anyone sees this and then they decide to start talking to a stranger once a day, maybe it can make the world better. I also do know there is stranger danger, and of course there's going to be strange people out there. And some people might say you're the strange one for talking to people, but you can talk to people in a friendly way, which isn't creepy, which isn't. It can just be general chit chat, and this is a time when actually small talk is a blessing. I think people shit on small talk too much. Small talk allows us to not reel too much about ourselves, but have some general information passed on. So have small talk with people. I'm pro small talk, but obviously, we always have to be wary of people. But I kind of want us to trust humanity again, even though it's awful politically what's going on. We need a sort of social trust that we can rely on each other. As awful as humans are also kind, and I would just want to see that again. And I know I can see that, and I spoke to people who are kind. So I'm hoping this can do something. I'm going to try and do this every day. It actually makes my day so much better talking to someone new. Also, like, the worst thing that can happen is, like, will blank you, but just say, why are you talking to me? Which is kind of a rude thing, but yeah.